Hey Tab, good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, how you doing?
Well, thank you. We'll get started here in English and then switch over to Spanish.
Okay.
Tab, teams back here at home. First of three games at BBVA Stadium this month. How's the team navigating just preparing for this one against Colorado?
Well, we know that we've definitely approached that moment where we definitely need wins. We play, I think, five out of the next six at home, and this is where we have to make our run. So there's no more time. There's no more thinking about who's not available. We just have to focus on whoever we have available and take it from there.
Thank you for that. Next, we'll go with Corey. Go ahead.
As you say that, I have two questions that related to that. Can you update us on Tyler?
At the moment, Tyler continues to be questionable for the game. He hasn't practiced the last couple of days. To be honest,
Okay.
He's not on the field. So I mean, we're hopeful, but at the moment, it's looking doubtful.
And how about Maxi, Darwin, and Ari?
We are, again, I'm gonna say hopeful because we don't know, but I'm gonna say that we're hopeful for both Maxi and Ari that they can give us some minutes in the game. Darwin looks unlikely.
Gotcha. So being at home now, I guess, how easy is it to get the confidence being at home? I guess describe how that comes and how that can give the team a jump knowing that they're going to be at home.
Yeah, well, we've been a decent team at home, in particular. It's as you've known better than I do that it's difficult to come play here for any team anytime, and we know we have to take advantage of that. We've done well even in the ties we've had. I felt we've been a little bit unlucky in not getting wins in all those ties that we've had at home, with the exception of maybe the LAFC game. I thought that game could have gone either way, and maybe the tie was not an unfair result. I thought all the other games we should have won. But yeah, I mean, at the moment, what I can tell you is that there is confidence in the locker room. The guys know that some results have not gone our way, but that we're working hard to the last minute to try to get results, and that we're looking forward to this game because for us is like a final. Now, there's no more time to look into the next game. Right now, we just have to look at one, and that's Colorado. And this is a game that is a must win for us.
Does the confidence in the locker room, I guess, how do you compare it to how it's looked, even before this winless streak started? Like, is it still the same? Do you notice that it's maybe just a little bit less, or I guess, how would you characterize it?
No, I actually, I feel like we're getting better. I feel like our possession game is better. I feel like we're playing better soccer than we were before. We're just not getting the results, which is really the most important part. So, I mean, we can't make excuses for that. I can't paint a good picture when we're not winning games because it's just not fair. I know what we analyze in here. I know what we're looking at in here. I know that obviously now having Coco available gives us even better feet in the middle of the field so we can play even better. But at the end of the game, this is about winning games, and we're not doing that, and we have to do that.
And my last one is about Coco. You saw him a little bit in the game. You saw him, train a lot more this week. What have you noticed that maybe encourages you that you didn't notice before?
I think that he's, we had noticed that, let's say, before when we watched him play, but now that we know him as a person, he's a good person that really fits into the locker room. He's a really hard worker. He's an example for a lot of the other guys. He's got great feet. I really think he's a special player. It may take him a few weeks to adapt to the league, but I think Coco's a special player, and I think the fans will be able to see that.
Thanks.
Thank you for that. Up next, we'll go with Sam. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Tab. Can you hear me?
I can barely hear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, better.
Okay. Good afternoon, Tab.
How are you?
I'm all right. The Rapids come to town this weekend. I was there in Denver when you guys that first met that Dynamo went down 3-1. What approach will you be using to this game, looking at the fact that the team, hasn't gotten 3 points in the last time it got 3 points was in May? What approach will you be using to execute this game against the Rapids?
Yeah, I think it'll be a little different. The last time we played the Rapids, we took a much more defensive approach. It was the mid-game in a 3-game week in which we had won the game before, I believe. So we had been winning. So we planned it a little different. When you get the wins, you get the opportunity to rotate your roster more. And that's what we did that game. We rotated the roster. We went with a defensive lineup. I think we played 5 across the back that day. And we try to limit them from getting in the box, which is something that they do really well. I felt like we did that in the game. We didn't play well, but we did what we wanted to accomplish. But we got caught. If you remember, one of the goals was Marco's mistake when he played the ball off of their player into the goal. And I think the other goal that they scored was a long goal kick that they had that went in between, I believe, Miner and Adam at the time. And they just went on a breakaway from a goal kick. So I think 2 big mistakes by us that game. But I think this game will be different. Your question was, how will it be different? It will be much different because our approach will be much more aggressive. Aggressive in terms of how we want to play the game with the ball. I don't mean aggressive by being dirty or stuff like that, but we will be on the front foot. We will be looking for goals because we need them. And, obviously a tie does us no good here. We have to go for wins now. That's what matters.
Okay. When I look at Dynamo fixtures, they have a lot of home games, and we give them advantage to sneak into the postseason. Your last press conference, you acknowledged the fact that when Max is not playing, the goals kind of dries up. Why wasn't something done during the secondary transfer window to bring in someone that can, take up that Urruti's position when he's out due to one reason or the other?
Well, we did bring in Corey Baird. We thought that Corey Baird, although he's a winger, he's also a 9. And when Urruti, unfortunately, we lost Urruti at the same time, so we had to go with Corey at the 9 right away. And that's, I don't think we were in position. Let me answer that question a little bit better. I don't think we were in position to go out and shop for an international player, let's say that was a 9, to come and sit on the bench in case something happened to Urruti. So I wanted to bring someone who was going to come in and be a starter right away, helping us to attack, and that was Corey. And Corey was the perfect player to bring in. Number one, I think because he's an elite American player, and number 2, because he can also play the 9. So in case, for whatever reason, Urruti was going to be out, Corey could jump in. But it just so happened that as soon as Corey arrived, Urruti was out. So he had to go directly to the 9. So I think, in terms of what we shopped for, I think we did our homework, because I don't think we could afford to bring in just a substitute number 9. We needed to bring a starter, and Corey is a starter right-sided player who could also play the 9.
All right. Wish you luck on Saturday, Tab.
Thank you.
Up next, we'll go with Victor.
Hey, Tab, just wanted to ask you, when you initially came into the club, you talked a lot about changing the culture. How do you feel the progress is on that end?
No, I think we've done that 100%, Victor. You walk into this locker room, it's a much better, I don't want to say better. Let's just say it's a much different place than it was before. I think we've recruited players who I think will be at the club for a long time. I think we have young players who have the physical capacity and the mental stability to be hard players for us for a long time. We did a lot of that. When you walk into the locker room, I feel like you have players who really appreciate being part of this club. Now, having said all those things, I know how this works, just like all you guys do. This is about winning games, and we're not winning games. And so I'm responsible for that. Having said that, I'm not taking away from the fact that this is a good place to be. This is a great place for players to develop. And this is a place where we're going to win. And hopefully that starts this Saturday. If it doesn't start this Saturday, obviously that's not good news for me because I'm in charge. But I can tell you that, the culture is different. The academy is important. We play every Wednesday. Our academy players are here. We match up against them. They know exactly how we play. If I had to throw in any academy player to a first team game, even if he was an amateur, he would know how we play. We've done a lot of work, but I know that's no consolation to anyone as long as we don't win games. So I'm looking forward to winning and getting on a winning streak here and winning a few games, because I think midterm, a lot of the changes that we've made will be seen, and you'll see how valuable they are. But I know that, this is about winning. So we have to win games. So I'm not hiding behind anything, but the answer to you is we've changed a lot, and it's going really well as far as that's concerned, to set up this club going into the future.
And part of the reason I asked that is just, you come from a Latin American background. You know what it means when fans want players to kind of show a little more emotion, show that losses, results hurt a little more. Do you feel your team shows enough emotion, has enough of that? I mean, because, or do you think it's maybe just lack of representation? Maybe that's our fault in the media. Maybe we're not, doing enough interviews or what have you, because the portrait that they're getting from the players is, social media, getting on the plane, everybody's having fun sort of thing. And it's obviously a club record to win this run. Yeah, no,
the players are devastated. That doesn't take away from the fact that, we come to work every day, and this needs to be a place where the players feel comfortable and are excited to come every day. We can't take that away. The last thing you want is to have a team of guys who don't even want to show up, because we're, at the end of the day, we're losing games. So it's a balance. We're trying to keep that balance. But I can tell you that everybody's devastated here that we're not winning games, because they're happy to be at the club. And of course, the fans, maybe in certain cases, they're going to see the picture as everybody's okay, even though we're winning games. No one is okay here. No one is okay. Everybody's suffering here. Everybody wants to do the best they can so that we get the fans back in the stadium. It doesn't necessarily feel good when we go to Austin and you see a full stadium, and we come home and we don't have a full stadium, but that's up to us. And we want that, and we want to work for that, and we want to work to bring the fans back. But we know that the work starts here, and at the end of the day, we have to get the results. And if I were to tell you, we're so far away in games that we're just not going to win, it'd be a different story. But, we go to Minnesota, it's a really tough place to play. The goal they get, obviously it's our mistake. And then we hit the crossbar, and then the ball hits their goalkeeper on the line, and a great play we make to tie it, and it doesn't go in. And then next thing you know, they score a second goal and put the game away. But we're right there. We just have to get over the hump. But what we have to do is we have to go out and do it, and I think we're ready for this Saturday to do it, regardless of who plays.
Thanks, Tab.
Okay, I think we'll transition to Spanish here. Tab, el equipo regresa a BBVA Stadium este fin de semana. ¿Cómo llega el equipo contra la preparación para el partido de este sábado contra Colorado?
Bueno, creo que si tendría que decirle una palabra, usaría la palabra heridos, porque el equipo viene herido en este momento. Obviamente venimos sin ganar partidos, venimos compitiendo en todos los partidos y estamos metidos en todos los partidos, pero no podemos conseguir victorias. Ahora sabemos que tenemos 5 de los próximos 6 en casa y tenemos que ganar por lo menos 4 de esos partidos para meternos en buena posición de playoff, y creo que el equipo lo puede hacer. Ahora obviamente también dependemos un poquito de qué jugadores están listos para jugar y cuáles no están, pero de cualquier forma los partidos hay que ganarlos, juegue quien juegue.
Gracias. Ahora vamos con Leopoldo Mata. Adelante.
Mi estimado mister, fíjese, antes de que se me olvide, usted está hablando de cómo atraer al aficionado de regreso. Yo nunca había visto, en tanto fútbol que he visto, que los aficionados estuvieran tan expectantes en un tiro de esquina como es aquí el aficionado del Houston Dynamo. Nunca lo había visto, se ponen de pie y están tan expectantes cuando nunca lo había visto. Y con eso le quiero decir, profe, que es bien fácil atraer a los aficionados. ¿Cómo? Dándoles espectáculo, porque aquí no hay mucho, en mi opinión, mucho conocimiento, pero sí saben de lo que es el espectáculo. Profe, ¿Qué encontró en esto de examinar detenidamente, profundamente al equipo en su última actuación?
Sí, nosotros esta semana, y estoy de acuerdo con usted, que creo que el público está expectante y que están listos para ver espectáculo, para ver buen fútbol y para ver un equipo que gane. Y nosotros lo reconocemos. Esta semana hemos enfocado los entrenamientos más en grupo por posición. Hemos trabajado con los mediocampistas separados, con los delanteros separados, con los defensas separados, y después hasta el día de ayer que por primera vez nos pusimos todos juntos a incorporar a Coco al medio del campo. Creo que los aficionados van a estar contentos cuando lo vean jugar. Es un jugador que tiene mucha calidad y un jugador que a medida que en estas semanas se adapte a la liga, creo que va a ser un gran trabajo, y creo que es un jugador que da gusto ver. Aparte es una persona que vino a trabajar, una persona que es muy dedicada y una persona que entra justo, creo que en todos los valores de la gente de aquí de Houston. Entonces estamos muy contentos de tenerlo a él, y ojalá que empezando este sábado empiecen a venir las victorias.
Profe, y dentro de lo que es ese examen o ese escrutinio, cuando usted ya está enfrente ahí del aparato de video o todo el equipo que ustedes usan para revisar las jugadas, ¿qué fue su primera inquietud? ¿Qué fue lo primero? A ver, pásame esa repetición y regrésale otra vez ahí. A ver, ¿qué está pasando? Porque yo noté, profe, que en el primer gol ahí fue un error de mecánica de Marco. Grave problema de mecánica, pero pues yo no sé mucho de fútbol. Entonces, ¿qué fue lo primero que vio? ¿Qué estaba? Porque también, profe, yo tomé una foto donde estaban los 11 integrantes del Dynamo dentro de su propia área grande, defendiendo. Y bueno, cuando veo yo eso, digo, o los defensores no saben cómo defender, o realmente es tan estricto la orden de que, por favor, si el extremo sube, usted lo tiene que marcar hasta la última línea. ¿Qué es lo que vio, profe, allí?
Bueno, primero que todo le contesto la primera pregunta, ¿no? Lo que usted me pregunta es qué pasó en el gol, y que lo lleve más o menos como llevamos al equipo cuando le mostramos el video de la jugada. El primer problema en la jugada existe en que nosotros dejamos a Minnesota dentro de 25 metros del arco nuestro, le damos demasiado sitio y demasiado tiempo para patear. O sea, los defensas estaban metidos en el área, los mediocampistas estaban casi al borde del área en vez de salir a presionar la pelota. Los defensas no tienen, ni los mediocampistas tienen ninguna orden de estar metidos adentro del área, tienen que salir a presionar la pelota. El primer error lo cometimos por no presionar la pelota. Perdón, el primer error lo cometimos porque perdimos la pelota 3 veces en esa misma jugada. Si usted va hacia atrás, en la jugada que termina con gol de Minnesota, nosotros perdemos la pelota 3 veces, perdemos posesión del balón 3 veces en nuestro campo. Después no presionamos el balón en momento de disparo, y después, obviamente, Marco comete un error, que a veces pasa con arqueros, obviamente, pero los defensas, tenemos 3 defensas parados sin ir al rebote. Solo el jugador de Minnesota va al rebote. O sea que hay 3 errores, creo que graves, por encima de lo que es el error que comete el arquero. O sea que con el error del arquero serían 4 errores en esa misma jugada de gol. En cuanto a lo que usted, espero que eso le conteste la pregunta. En cuanto a lo que usted me habla en cuanto a los delanteros, a veces subiendo los carrileros, bajando a defender al defensa, eso es normal en el fútbol de hoy en día. Todos los jugadores tienen que atacar y todos tienen que defender. Lo que sí le digo a mis jugadores es que hagan lo posible para dejar marca cada vez que ataquen, para que el defensa del otro equipo no se atreva a subir, porque sabe que cada vez que sube le pueden hacer daño para el otro lado. Y creo que nosotros tenemos que hacer lo mejor que se pueda para ganar esas batallas.
Profe, híjole, está bien interesante todo lo que me está platicando. Ya sabía cómo me iba a responder. Por eso es que le encargo de favor que busque una toma donde en la misma línea de gol, y no creo que haya estado 4 metros de separado Coco, marcando a un jugador rival en una área donde lo que más va a producir es entorpecer el trabajo del arquero. Entonces, por ahí, bueno, profe, Otra cosa, profe, ya la última de mi parte por esta reunión, gracias por su afabilidad. Dentro de lo que es la cultura del deporte en Estados Unidos, se depende mucho del material que viene siendo procesado a nivel universitario. Ya son varias selecciones universitarias que se anuncian con mucha pompa, se le da mucho anuncio, reclutamos a este jugador y a este. ¿Qué es lo que pasa, profe? ¿Que están mal las universidades? ¿No están produciendo material como en el béisbol, como en el básquetbol, como en el fútbol americano? ¿Qué es lo que está pasando con esa transición de grandes universidades trabajando con grandes atletas, pero que al menos en Houston Dynamo no estoy viendo esos resultados?
Bueno, primero que todo, las universidades no están produciendo los jugadores que producían anteriormente, y creo que es normal, porque hoy en día existen academias de la MLS que firman los jugadores cuando son bastante jóvenes y se quedan en sus clubes y no van a la universidad. Entonces, para un jugador, vamos a decir, de 16, 17 años, los mejores del país, de Estados Unidos, se van a jugar a Europa. Como usted está viendo que las selecciones de Estados Unidos son jóvenes y todos los jugadores están en Europa, los mejores. O sea, los mejores jugadores norteamericanos se van a jugar a Europa. Los segundos mejores firman en los clubes de MLS. Y los terceros son los que van a universidad. Entonces las universidades no están produciendo el tipo de atleta. No quiere decir que no salga alguno importante, pero en general las universidades no tienen el talento americano que tenían anteriormente. Sí, quizás algunos jugadores extranjeros, pero no el mismo. En cuanto al club nuestro, Sam Jankwa fue elegido de universidad y es un jugador que está jugando y para mí está haciendo un bastante buen papel. Y desafortunadamente Ethan, que elegimos este año, Ethan Barlow, ha estado lesionado casi todo el año. Recién ahora está empezando a jugar. Él es un gran jugador. Creo que va a jugar aquí en Houston Dynamo, ojalá que muchos años, pero desafortunadamente no hemos podido contar con él porque ha estado lesionado todo el año.
Profe, muchísimas gracias.
De nada.
We'll wrap up here with Corey in English. Go ahead.
Yeah, one more quick one. Sorry, I forgot to ask about Corey Baird. Is he okay?
At the moment, Corey Baird has not trained the last 2 days. So again, he's another one of those that's probably going to be a game time decision. I mean, to be honest, I think it looks unlikely to me as well.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right, Tep, I think we'll close with that. Thank you very much. We'll see you out there on Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
All right, everyone, we're going to catch up here with Dynamo midfielder Derrick Jones. If you guys have any questions, feel free to use the raise my hand option. I'll kick things off here, and then we'll go to any questions here in the chat. Derrick, the team is back at home, navigating the first of a few games here at BBA Stadium. How's the preparation been preparing for Colorado here on Saturday?
I mean, you know, we've been working on trying to play, trying to get a win against Colorado. We've been doing that since this whole week. And I think everybody, we're all on the same page. You know, we all know what's going on, and we're just trying to get that 3 points this weekend.
Thank you for that. Corey, go ahead.
Hey, Derrick, I'm curious, when you haven't had as much experience with him yet, but with Coco Carrasquilla, what is it about his game that kind of pops off the page for you?
You know, obviously I've seen him in training. I saw him in the game against Minnesota. I think he brings a lot of energy to the team. You know, he drives the ball forward. You know, that's something that we need as a team. And I think he's going to be a good addition to the team. You know, obviously we at a point that, you know, we're trying to get some wins. So I think with him being on the team, we're a lot more confident that everything is going to get into place.
It's been 11 games now that you guys haven't won. How would you characterize how that either affects you guys on a daily basis or weighs on you or doesn't weigh on you? How would you characterize that?
Yeah, I mean, for me and as a team, you know, 11 games without a win, obviously, you know, it's tough, you know, and then I know we have a long stretch coming. You know, we have like 5 out of 6 games that we feel very confident that everything is going to start and get into place. You know, obviously we feel pressured, but we think I'll be confident, especially going in this weekend to get 3 points. So,
Where does that confidence come from?
I mean, you know, after everything that's going on, we still together as a team. You know, every day at training, we are working for each other. You know, we believe in the team. We believe in this group that, you know, we can do a lot of positive stuff. So it just comes natural.
Last one, do you guys, with all these home games coming up, do you guys feel urgency to get it done now?
I mean, yeah, you know, like I said, you know, we feel a lot more pressured. You know, obviously we haven't won a game, so with this home games coming in, yeah, I think it's you know, we definitely need to get like some points in the bag.
Thanks.
Up next, we'll go with Victor. Go ahead, Victor.
Hey, Derrick, just wanted to ask you, how much attention does the team put towards set pieces? Obviously, it's a way to level the playing field a little more, especially with the current results.
Well, we work on set pieces every day before the game. So just like, you know, how we train with tactics and everything, we do the same with set pieces. So we pay a lot of attention to it. You know what I mean? Obviously, we got scored on set pieces the last game. So, but I think it's just, you know, it's just a good goal. But we pay more attention to it.
You talk about, you know, maybe the pressure the team feels. How much is it drilled into the team to maybe be also sympathetic to the fan base that it's been 6 out of 7 of the last seasons that the team hasn't reached the playoffs? How much does that message get repeated?
I mean, obviously, you know, we all here, we're trying to make the playoffs, and it's been kind of tough, very tough. We haven't won a game in a while, but it's a long stretch coming, you know. Like I said, we have like 5 of the 6 home games coming up, and then we feel like this is where we can like just cash in and just try to make a run, you know.
Last one for me. Where does the motivational speeches, the attitude, the leadership on this team come from, do you think?
It comes from, you know, each other. Like everybody's just expecting, you know, the next guy is expecting the next guy to do better. You know, we all hold ourselves accountable, and we all trying to work hard, you know, play as a team. Obviously, we are all together as one, and we think, you know, if we all work together, like how we've been doing, everything is going to fall into place.
Thank you.
Anything else for Derrick before we wrap up? All right, I think we're good to go. Thank you, everyone. We'll have media resources available later today.